Hello, students. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So are you facing any problem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. What?
Sir, if you look at example number 8.1,
Okay.
there is only one element, and they divide it into two rectangular element. Divide it
Okay.
into two rectangular element.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sir, they have written something. I am reading. Uh, the finite the finite element mesh consisting of two triangular element as shown in figure 8.3. It is important to note that essential boundary conditions must be met. So nodes at the intersection of essential and natural boundaries are essential boundary nodes. Therefore, when the partition method is used, these nodes must be among those numbered first. Sir, what it means?
Not necessarily, so you don't have to make them number first as long as you remember how to deal it. Okay. So natural one. So uh, just a minute. Let me see. Okay. So let me see. Consider the heat conduction problem depicted in figure 8.2. The coordinates are given in meters. The conductivity is isotropic and so on. The temperature T0 is prescribed along edges AB and AD, and the heat flux Q bar is 0, Q bar is 20 watts per meter are prescribed on edges BC and CD respectively. A constant heat source S is given. The final consisting of two triangular elements is shown in 8.3. It is important to note that initial boundary conditions must be met. So nodes at the intersection of essential and essential and natural essential boundary nodes. Okay, therefore when the partition method is used, these nodes must be among those numbered first as shown in figure 8.3. So let me see 8.3. 1, 2, 3, and okay. So see here, I think there is the partitioning method. I don't know it's talking about. Okay, so whatever it is, you don't first worry about all those things. Okay, you go ahead the way you go. So main thing here is basically the node numbers. You have to maintain as anti-clockwise. So that the area is positive, otherwise you will get negative area. Okay, so let me explain just a minute. Partition method, you may be talking about the triangle, how you make the triangle. Basically that's what I should be making. So just a minute. Okay, just a minute. I think there is something wrong here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So in this case, okay. So some domain is given something like this one. Yeah. So this was like this one. Yeah. So given uh, and it is defined. Okay. So figure 8.2 is given is like this one. Yeah, so this is given A and B and C and D. Yeah, okay, and this is given T equal to 0 given here, T equal to 0 is here, Q bar equal to 0 here, and Q bar equal to 20 here. Okay, and how to solve it? You solve it first you have to make two triangles, basically. That's what as per the problem, and hence you can either you can do like this one, either you can go like this. Yeah, so either you go like this, meaning that either you can go like this one, you make like this, or you can like this one. It's up to you how you do it. Yeah. Okay. Now, numbering doesn't matter, and numbering all those things doesn't matter. Yeah. So you can, but you have to be clockwise. So let us say you have been like this one, then you will go like this. You will say if it is one this, then 2, and then you have 3 like this. Okay. So what you have gone is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise so that area is positive. Otherwise, you will see that if you put in 1 x1 x2 1 x1 y1, like you do like this, right? Area will be half of this. Determinant 1 x1 y1, 1 x2 y2, 1 x3 y3. So it's important that you have a anti-clockwise like numbered, so that this is positive. Otherwise, if you go clockwise, it will be negative. Area you will get negative, and hence you have to what you have to keep in your mind that you have anti-clockwise like this in both the cases. So here also you have to write accordingly. So this will be, say you are saying this is 1, this is 2 and 3, and then you can have this as 4. Yeah. So now you are going to work with the local one. So local one will be like local numbering. So if let's say you call it 1, this is number 2. So this is 1, local numbering 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the second one will go like this. Yeah. So this will be 2, 4, 3 like this one, right? But if you do local numbering, then up to you. You can go 1, 2, 3. This is local numbering. This anti-clockwise we are doing. Yeah. What it says, yes, that this point, it has a boundary of both of them, right? So essential boundary condition is here, and the essential boundary condition here. So then this point will have essential boundary condition only. You will enforce this to be t equal to 0 only. Yeah. Q bar you don't know at this point. So always you know that natural boundary condition not necessarily is met. Yeah. But we force it to satisfy the essential boundary conditions. So essential boundary condition, it will satisfy no matter what. But the natural boundary condition may or may not. And hence you know that at this point D, t equal to 0, we have to impose. Yeah. So that is the thing. Okay. So this is this is how you do. Yeah. So it's this you have to keep in your mind. Otherwise, all other things, partition, all those things are like you can do this way or that way only. There's no problem.
Sir,
okay?
The way you.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, can we convert a figure 8.2 into a rectangular as well as in a triangular, both in one time? Triangular and rectangular elements, sir. Can we convert it?
Raja, just hold on. So let me first finish this one. So, okay, so did you get my answer? Like, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Sir, the figure
Okay.
you, in the figure, sir, you have numbered 1, 2, 3 and 4. Sir, this numbering not anti-clockwise, sir.
Which one? This anti-clockwise, 1, 2, 3.
No, in the above.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Here doesn't matter, man. Here it does not matter. See here, like here, as long as you follow this, means when you are, see, this is local, it is falling, right? So number 1 in local is number 2 in global. Number 2 is local in number 4 in global. So number 3 in local is number 3 in global. So when you have to find out the area, so then what you are going to write? You will write 1 x2 y2, 1 x4 y4, 1 x3 y3, and hence you will get positive, right?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. So any more question? Is you okay now? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Raja, your question now. So you are saying that is it possible to take both of them, right? That's what you are asking.
Sir, actually, upper part can we convert it into rectangular and triangular element? Upper part in rectangular and lower part is in triangular. Figure number 8.2, sir.
I got you. So
Yes.
this is what you are saying, that upper part triangular you are saying, right? So anyway, just a minute. Just let me see the figure first. 8.2. Acha. This is not like this. So this is something like this. Yeah. Okay. And you are saying whether you can do like this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's up. You can do it. It's up to you. Up to you means if this is up to the problem. Yeah. So you can also do that. It's possible to do it. You can combine them. So in that case, you will have again 2 elements, number 1, number 2, and you can give a numbering accordingly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can do like this one. And of course, that Stephenson matrix for this will be different. This will be different. You give the coordinates you give there and all those. So you can do it. No problem. You can combine them together. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So if it's not mentioned, then you can work like that. If it's mentioned that you have to take triangle only, you can do it like this one. Or you can also do like this. See here. Yeah, so you have 3 triangles also. You can do like that. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, if you make 3 triangles, then the solution will be slightly more accurate, right? Means it will be different from the previous one.
No, well, not necessarily, So see here, triangle has some problem. What is the problem? Did you see what is the problem? Do you know what the problem with triangle is? You can see from the shape functions, right? So your shape function in triangular element, the shape function will be typically of this type, right? Say xy is equal to alpha plus beta x plus gamma y. So like this one. So what happens is, you can see that del ni del x will be equal to beta. So becomes a constant, equal to a constant. So in a way, let us say if you, in the next, like in the next chapter, meaning chapter 9, we are going to study the 2D elasticity. So there, the displacement will be of this type, right? So displacement del u over del x is not but a strain. So this tells you that a strain is constant, and hence the triangular element is also called constant strain triangle. So you will see later on, right? So this triangle is also called constant CST, constant strain triangle. And in heat transfer, that really means the flux remains constant. Yeah, equivalent to flux constant inside element. But you can see that in case of this rectangular element, it's not constant. It can vary because you have in a rectangular element, your functions are, shape function is like this: ni xy equal to alpha plus beta x plus gamma y plus delta xy. So you have delta xy, which is a higher order term here. Yeah, so hence you can see that del ni over del x will be equal to beta plus delta y. So this is linearly increasing, linearly varying. Yeah, so this advantage here that your flux or a strain will linearly vary. So in this case, you can see that this may be better, but it again, you are taking two. What is the problem is at this line, if you compare the flux here, if you calculate from this side and if you compare with that calculated from this side, you will see there is a difference. So what I mean to say is flux here and flux here will be different. They will be constant, and at this age they will not match. You follow?
Okay, sir. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it depends on the problem. At least in some problem could be such that it matches here also. But in general, you can see in this case that this has better accuracy. Got it. Yeah. Any other question? Any other question, guys?
Sir, in question 7.4, it is said that it's a 5-noded triangular element, and
Okay.
means in the figure it is given that on two sides there are three nodes, and on one side there are just 2 nodes.
Okay.
So on the side,
7.4.
yes, sir.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, okay.
Sir, so means on the side with nodes 1, 5, and 3, the shape function will be quadratic, right?
Yeah. So let me read. So 7.4 you are saying, right? So construct the shape function for the 5-node triangular element shown in figure 7.32, which has quadratic shape function along two sides and linear shape function along the third. Be sure your shape function for all nodes are linear between node 1 and 2. Use triangular coordinates and express your answer in terms of triangular coordinates. Yeah, so what is your question?
Sir, how to make that quadratic shape function along the slanted lines? Means linear it is easy, just the endpoints, but the quadratic, I don't know.
Okay. So what is the meaning of quadratic? So here, see here, 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to ask some question. Based on that, we can get it. Okay, so tell me first, what is quadratic? What do you mean by quadratic?
The order of polynomial will be 2, or it will be 0 at 2 points along the line.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so 2 means what? You should either get something like, in this case, since you have to use the triangular coordinate system. So I will be either a xi1 square, that is quadratic. Okay. Or you have to get the xi1, xi2 types, right? So either it will have xi1 square or xi1, xi2, xi1 multiplied by xi2, this kind of thing. Yeah. So that's what quadratic is. So you can first convert it. So first what you do, convert that into, so this one is xy system. So this is xy, and then we are going to convert that into xi1, xi2 system. So we'll have like this. So this is xi1, this is xi2. Okay, and then we have like this. Yeah. So we have here and here. Okay, and here this is you have 1. Here also you have 1. Basically 1 0. This is 0 1. This will be point number 1. This is point number 2. This is point number 3. So when you transform, this is how it will be, right? This is node 3 like this. Yeah. Okay. So this is when you convert that, this becomes like that. Now you will also add these points. So these points between 2 and 3 is 4. So 2 and 3 is 4. So 4 is going to be here. Okay. Now between 1 and 3 is 5. So 1 and 3 is 5. So this is going to be like this. Yeah. So this is 5. Coordinate also we can write. So coordinate for 4 is 0. Let's say half. And for this one will be half and 0. We are assuming this to be exactly in between this. Yeah. So okay. Now now we have to write the equation. How will you do? Now we have xi1, xi2. We know that, like if we write the equation like for a shape function of this one, if you want, so then what do you need? You will need you can write this way. You can write this way, right? So here what it says that if you go from 1 to 2, it has to be linear. So meaning that if you go from here to here, it should be linear, and it should be quadratic if you go from this side to this side, making quadratic very easy, right? So how will you do? So for this one, for example, if you want this one, you cannot use this line, this line. Only way you have to write is this line, this multiplied by this one. And you know that this one is what is the equation of this line? This one is xi3 equal to 0. This one is xi3 equal to half, right? This is what it will be. So you can write n3. So let's write n3. N3 will be equal to simply xi3 multiplied by xi3 minus half. You know that. And at this point is xi3 equal to 1. So you put 1 here. So 1 multiplied by 1 minus half. So 1 multiplied by half. So multiplied by 2. If you put 2 here, this will be all right. So you know that n3 automatically n3 is quadratic here, right? It is quadratic. Yeah. Okay, so we can write here, no need to simplify, but you know xi3 and xi3, so that becomes xi3 square. And hence this is quadratic. Yes. Okay, now next let us say if you want to find out this point, at this point, when you are going from here to here, what is changing? Right, so this is number 1. So n1, if you are find out, then what's going on? So n1 equal to. So this is the one. Now, if you want to find out, we have to go like this. This is one equation, goes like this one, another is this one, that we can do. Then from here, either you have one line which is going like this one, the another line goes like this one. This is the only option you have. So basically this one is xi1, and this one is xi. This one xi1 equal to 0. So one of the possibility will be like this. So this is I1 equal to 0. So this is what this one is. Second thing is this one. So one is covered like this one. Second thing is covered like this one. Okay, and what is that?
Xi3 minus half.
Sorry.
Xi3 minus half.
Xi3 minus half. So this will be Xi3 minus half. Minus half, like this one. So you have here, you have Xi1 multiplied by Xi3 minus half, like this one. Okay. Okay. Now, similarly, if you see this one, do we call it quadratic? Do you call it quadratic? Okay. Here the meaning is this becomes 2 Xi3 square minus Xi3. In this case, this becomes Xi1 equal to Xi1 Xi3 minus half Xi1. Yeah. Okay. Now, similarly, let me again read the question as well. So, be sure your shape function for all nodes are linear between nodes, and be sure your shape functions for all nodes are linear between 1 and 2. Use triangular coordinate system. So, okay. So between 1 and 2, it has to be linear. That's what it's telling, right? So you can check now whether it is like that or not. Yeah. So we have to make sure. So how to check? What it tells that whatever you do it at this line, when you go from 1 to 2 has to be linear. Means what is the value here? The value is, let's check on when you go 1 to 2, then what happens here? Basically, our line connecting nodes 1 and 2 has Xi3 equal to 0, right? Simple. So if you put Xi3 equal to 0, what we see? We see N1. You can see N1 equal to just this. N1 becomes equal to, you can see here, N1 equal to Xi3 equal to 0, so it becomes minus half Xi1. So this becomes linear. N1 becomes simply linear. If you go along, N1 becomes linear here. Because why? Because when Xi3 equal to 0, then N1 becomes simply minus half Xi1. That's it. So hence it's linear. And this is linearly varying. Yeah, that's what it is. And all of them should follow similar way. That's what.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Any other question?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, whatever the shape of an element, either it is triangle or rectangular or quadrant, sir, whenever S is constant, source is constant, it will always divide equally to all nodes.
Will it always divide equally? No, not like that. So for different shape, it will be different actually. Yeah. So it is, you can also see. So for triangle is true. For triangle, it will go 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Yeah. For quadratic, it will not go. I mean, for arbitrary quadrilateral element, it will not be true. Yeah. So if depends on the shape. If it's triangular, like this, then you can assume that whatever the S is acting at the centroid, and hence 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 it will go, right? So that is correct. This will be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. of what? S times area. S times area. Whatever the area of that, it will go 1/3, 1/3. Okay. Now, if it is quadrilateral, then also true. Rectangular. Okay, so if it's rectangular, then also is true. Then it will be 1/4 of SA, 1/4 1 of S times A. So this is also true. Obviously, a square is also true. If this is true for a rectangular, for a square also is done. But let's say your quadrilateral is something like this one. So let's exaggerate it. So something like this. Okay. Then what happens is this may not be 1/4 in this case. Yeah. So this is because it's if you assume everything is at the centroid, then centroid will be here. See here. This will be centroid will be somewhere here. Let us say, like this one. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And but how you have done, like if you transform this one, if you go like this, you are transforming these to a square element, right? So if you see the square element, it goes the square element. So you are going to transform like this. There's this called centroid C. You will see that centroid C is actually not here. Centroid C will be somewhere here. Yeah. So what you will see is the C is here somewhere. Yeah. Got it. So because of that, the problem is, yeah. So here in like since the centroid is here, then of course this will get more and this will get less. Yeah. Got it?
Sir, like if the centroid of that quadrilateral is the center, sir, and we are only shifting the coordinate system, then why we are not getting the centroid at center in the xi and eta system, sir?
Okay, why you are not getting? This is because our system is like this. See here, our system is, if we go from here to here, then what happens? It's linearly varying like this. So what do we write? We have like you can see the transformation. Yeah, so you can check out how the x and y is changing, and how it does, how the x and y are related in this case. So we have in this case, for example, x equal to, we write like x equal to NIXI, right? This is how it is. You can check it. You can actually check it. This here I equal to 1 to 4. This is how we are writing. So you will see that the centroid will means this will not correspond to this one. You can take some value of this one. You can calculate the centroid here, and you will see that the midpoint here will be nothing but the midpoint, how it goes from here to here. So this point will be, so you can actually see that. So you take from half to half here. So take half like this. So another color, it will be exactly like this. See here, like this. Got it? So this point 0 is point 0 here. What you have done is divided into two parts. You take half here. So this is the line. This line is this line. This line is this line. So this line is okay. But this line here, this line is not going to go through the centroid. This is the just dividing this one into two, and that is where your y-axis will be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Got it.
because our shape is bilinear, no? Shape function is bilinear, means two lines multiplied. You got it? So this way we are not disturbing anything. If you say we are going from here to here, we have exactly the same x. So if point x is, let us say we have to divide from here to here. So let us say you can also look at this one. One example, one example like this one. Say this one is -1, this is 1. So x are not changing, right? So -1, 1. So x, the same thing here also we have -1, 1, 1, -1. Only y is changing. So we can have here a here, let's say equally to a here. Yeah, minus a here, minus 2a here. Let's say call like this. Yeah. Now since this is n is a bilinear, right? So it will have x term multiplied by the y term. Now if you see in both the cases, the correspondence is 1 to 1. If x is -1, here also -1. When x equal to 0, this is where the x equal to 0 is. And here also x equal to 0 will be here only, midway only. So you know that coordinate system, the origin will be away from the centroid, you know, just looking at this one, you know. If your geometry is like this one, from -1 to 1, you know that the origin will be here.
Yes,
right
in both.
here. Right, in both the cases. And you know, since because of this shape is like this one, centroid will be away from this. And hence, centroid has to be away from this one.
Yes, sir.
Got it. So because of the problem, you know, you can, because of that problem, and how it is taken care of, hence you have to do the integration. If you do integration, automatically it will come, because you will get what? You will get the Jacobian. Right? Jacobian take care of. Jacobian is not constant anymore. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Jacobian is constant in case of triangle, hence you will get no. But in case of bilateral element, Jacobian is a function of xi and eta, and hence you will see automatically it will take care of that. Automatically it will distribute, and hence you have to integrate that. So just like if S I will be equal to Ni S, right? And then right, Jacobian, right? And then you have d xi d eta. Yeah, and you have -1 to 1, -1 to 1. Hence you do, that's it, and you are done. That's how you do, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this Jacobian will take care of. Jacobian is a function of, this Jacobian is a function of xi and eta. And hence, automatically you will see that even if it is a constant, this will not let it to be equally divided. It will not. Yeah. So this is what the Jacobian will do. Got it? Yeah. Any other question, guys?
Sir, in the assignment problem, you have given one question for isoparametric element in which we have means we have converted. You have given the solution. We have converted into the square, and means the question was asking for 0, 0 element. So if we take the general shape function for that isoparametric element and then solve, then also we would be getting the same answer.
Say again. So there was one question on isoparametric element.
Yeah,
Okay.
means I mean that if we don't use, means it's easy and it's short whatever you have given, and even I get it, but I'm just saying that if we try that means if we take that isoparametric element and if we calculate the shape function like x minus y in that terms, means
Okay.
general, then also we would be getting the same answer.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Actually, I was getting a small difference in the answer when I solved. Maybe there was a calculation mistake.
Yeah. So you should get the same. As long as the order is, you retain the order, it will be okay. So if you compose it as X, Y, it is fine. You can do it. No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
So ultimately, like we introduced a different coordinate system, but that's for ease basically. Otherwise, accuracy does not change. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get. True. Any other? Any concept you are not able to understand? Yeah, so that I can repeat here. I think you should get the insight. It's very important that you get the insight. You know? So what exactly you are doing? Actually, we do a lot of things mathematics wise, but if you look at this, you should also get some insight. There's some physics behind it. A lot of things we do, like for example, like on the boundaries, you know that actually you are also applying the what you learned in the like by solving the 1D problems, right? So on the boundary, whatever is there, if you know that there's a heat loss means that there is a Q bar given, and again Q bar you have to basically from the which is given continuous, right? So Q bar from at the boundary, some Q bar is given, and hence you know that if it is a constant, then it will simply Q bar length divided by 2 here, and Q bar length divided by 2 here, simply, right? So as you have done in the 1D case. So this kind of insight, if the Q bar, let us say Q bar is triangular, something like this one, then can you guess? This is how the Q bar is. Yeah? Q bar is given like this. Then what happens? Q bar is a function of X. Let's say Q bar equal to C, and then along this length, right? So this let's say we have in this direction we have Z direction, like going like this one. So C equal to Q bar equal to CZ. Let's say it's given like this one, where Z is like this one, goes like this one. Then what do you do?
Integrate, sir.
Yeah, integrate, fine. But can you guess? What I'm saying is this triangular? What you see is triangular. You know, so C I'm giving you as equal to 1 minus X over L, not X by Z over L. Like C, it's like this one. So that if Z is 0, then you get maximum C. When Z to L, you get 0. So this is how it is given. Now I'm telling you, can you guess how much after integrating you can find out? But let's say insight, I'm talking about the insight now. What insight you get? This is
2/3, 1/3.
Yes, that's what I mean to say. This is 2/3, 1/3. It will be something like let's say you have a triangle like this one, and you have a support here and here, right? So like this one, and this has a constant rho basically, right? And this is because of the acceleration due to gravity. The total force, let's say it's M, total M will be rho times area times the water thickness, right? So let's say thickness is 1. So rho times A will be M, and then it will be mg. So here the weight upward will be 1/3 mg over 3, and weight here will be 2 mg over 3. So 2/3 will go here, 1/3 will go here. Similarly, here also it will be like this one. So 1/3 will go here. So this will be simply whatever the value, the area, you have to calculate this way. So total will be what? Total, if QR is given like this one, so total will be, you can find out. Let's say this is Q naught here. This, let's say from here to here is Q naught, and here to here L. So area becomes equal to, simply it will be half, then Q naught bar L. This is area, right? So Q naught bar multiply L is the area, right? So total will be half Q naught times L, will be like that one. And then Q bar here is, if Q naught is given, Q naught is the rate, it is giving you the rate basically, right? So this is what is the Q naught here given. Multiplied by, we have to have the 1/3 of this from here. So you will get 1/3 of this. So value will be here like this. And here it will be 2, 3, this will be half Q naught L multiplied by 2/3 will go here. So that's what I mean. So you should have insight accordingly, how much it will go there and so on. Did you get it? Any confusion here? It has the same meaning. It is like distributed load, basically. It's nothing but the distributed load, something like this one. Distributed load. Distributed load is being the finally has to go to the end. Where the end, if it is at the fixed at end, finally what we are doing from the continuous system, we are composing the discrete system. Hence the total force will be divided into two parts. And it will be something like some structure is there which has distributed force, and there is a support at 2 points. So some support will go there, some force will be go there, some force will be going there, but total force will be equal to the force, the weight of this only. Similarly here, same thing we are doing here also. So it's no different, same thing. Yeah, okay. Any other questions? Like anything that you don't have insight, you think it's a difficult part to understand, you think or you wish that it would have been much easier, you know? So we can talk that way. Any difficult topic you think? Integration and all okay, you guys? Okay, any questions? Also, think about your own problems, So anything you are working on, as I now reminded you, you have to work on your project, So be original, try to do something related to your work. That way we'll learn also. You have any question about that, you can ask me also, So, but please do not copy anything from others, So report should be very nice, like a research paper basically. So all of you, sparing a few probably, so you are all graduate students only, so you should know basically how to write. So report has to be very nice report, So do not copy anything, write everything like what is the objective and all those things the way it is written. Yeah, Manish.
Sir, most of us don't have software like ANSYS, sir. So can we remote access from SHU if you provide?
See, I think you can also use some free software as well. So I'm giving you, there's something called Calculix. So Calculix. So this is very good. Actually, I have worked a lot on this one. This is similar to Abacus, by the way. So in fact, it's possible that Abacus it may run in the Calculix. So you can install this. It's freely available, open source. So you can do it. Next, other thing is you may have access, like you can talk to somebody probably. So okay, so I will ask the TAs. Is Sanjay here? Sanjay?
Yes, sir.
No, Sanjay Singh. Sanjay Singh? Oh, yeah, he's logged in probably, but he's not here. So I will tell the TA, okay? So he will also find out if it is possible to remotely access the software, okay? So I will do that, okay? But in the meantime, you can also have Calculix, it will be with you forever, right? And it's very easy. It has like you can install on Linux, Windows, even on Apple, but with some difficulties. But so it's possible. And I have myself worked. In fact, published some papers also out of it. So I'm a big fan of it. So I typically use all software, open source softwares only. And it is very good actually. So please do this one. If you have no access, just do it. Yeah.
So there is one question also that
yeah,
we have to define the strong form and weak form. So if so we have to write it on software, or can we can write on pen and paper?
You can pen and paper, man. Either you can use LaTeX, for example. You have to learn anyway, no? So all those things, we are writing technical writing. You can use the word equations. There is in Word, you can insert equation. Have you heard about equation, like Microsoft equation?
No, sir.
No. So then you have to learn. So in any typical good word editor, you will have all the things. You can insert equation. You go and say insert, and inside that you will have an object or equation will be there. Click equation, and then you type it. You can, you can see the lot of books which are the books you read typically have some equations. All equations look so nice, and for that you can use that. So all those things are very easy. It will not. I don't have to spend much time on that. So Microsoft Word has, for example. Similarly, any other, or you can, if you prefer, you can also use LaTeX, for example. LaTeX is one software that converts from text, basically the programming, basically from text to it can make equations and all everything. So that's also possible. Yeah. So writing with hand, I don't recommend. You will get less marks if you do that. So it is very professional. You are graduate students, so you have to actually learn anyway. Like when you are going to type your thesis, will you write that like a handwritten? No. So similarly, so you follow the same format actually. You can say this is a mini thesis. I'm not asking for like 100 pages. You can have like 10 pages or 15 pages, it's okay. But be professional. Do something like it should be like technical report. Got it?
So, and we can take any problem of the books, huh?
You can take any problem from?
The finite element method.
Basically, what I have given there, I have identified like how difficult the problems it should be. It's given number of nodes, how many number of nodes, all kind of things are given there. Have your own problem, unique problems, not from the book. No two students should have the similar problem. Best thing is to identify some problems. So wherever you are living, you just see around, see something and click photo and just construct that and try to solve it. Many things around you.
Okay.
Yeah. Or anything that you are going to work, like let us say you are into something you are going to say, whether you are going to analyze a tire, so you do something related to that, or heat transfer, you find out the problem related to heat transfer and try to solve it, or into electromagnetics, then you find out some problem accordingly. If it is very difficult, find something which is little bit easier that you can be comfortable with solving. That's what you can do. But the idea is to learn. You have to show that you have learned. You have to learn, like you can identify the problem. You can start with a strong form, then a weak form, then you can choose the element type, all kind of things. That's what we want to see, and also compare with the software also, so that you can compare your results with the software. So you can also understand like how close your results are. So programming skills also, you will know which all things are important. So it's a very important basically. So try to do something which is going to be your specialization. Yeah. So.
Sir, I want to ask something. Like in the lecture 29, means I just want to ask about Pascal triangle which you make. Like आप उसको ऐसे बनाते हैं कि जैसे शेप फंक्शन जो होता है उसमें जो टर्म्स आते हैं, मतलब जैसे x y, मतलब जीटा n फिर जीटा स्क्वायर, तो पास्कल ट्रायंगल जब हम बनाएंगे तब हमें उतने टर्म्स आने चाहिए जो हमारे शेप फंक्शन में आ रहे हैं.
राइट.
तो सर जो लेक्चर 29 में है उसमें जो एक्स वाई का टर्म है वो तो हमारे एनआई में है ही नहीं, तो फिर हम उसको जब आपने जब फिर से चेंज करके उसको एक्स मतलब जीटा एन का टर्म आ रहा है, तो इज इट फाइन? मींस
इट इज फाइन. मैंने कहने का मतलब है कि ये शुड नॉट बी ऑल अराउंड बेसिकली. किसी में यू कैन अवॉइड बेसिकली. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज ट्राई टू जैसे अगर लेट्स से 1xy x square xy y square and so on, you know. So the idea is like if there are 5 nodes only, so like this one, so just looking at it you will know basically that it's 5 hai. So there could be 5 like this or 5 like the 5 like this one, right? So depending on the thing, your thing, the shape function is going to change. Yeah. So what I said, either you should have like this one, or you should have like this one, or you should have like this one, or you should have like this one. But not everything you have. It should not be that everything like you have 5, like you have 5 nodes, but you have variable which is 6. So then it's not good. Then how will you solve it? Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the thing. So 5 is fine. That way you can do it. But if it's not like that, then what happens is if you add them together, it will not get equal to 1. That's the thing. So if you are using just 5 of them, then most likely it will, if you add them together, it will be 1 only. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
And looking at, yeah, go ahead.
In this problem, we also need to take symmetric configuration. It is essential.
Which one? In this problem, like this one?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So looking at this one, you can see that this is in x and y, right? So either it could be something like this one, or it could be like this one. There are 2 possibilities. Yeah. So it's possible that this is the right answer. So you have to check. That's what I'm saying. Or this could be the right answer. So you have to find out which one. In this case, you know that this way it is going to be quadratic in this direction, and this direction it is going to be linear. So if it is, let us say this is X, so you can guess basically, if it is X and this is Y, then you know that there will be Y terms, it has to be some Y terms in this direction. So Y terms will be there. And X square term will not be there because there is no 3 nodes in this direction, right? Nowhere it has. So X square terms will not be there. So in that case, what you will see that most likely you will get this. So this is what you will get. Yeah.
Okay, right.
For the other one, for this one, either you will get this one, most likely you will get this one. Yeah, because the X square Y terms should be there. Or you can get this like either this one or you get like this one. This is also possible. Yeah. So you have to see basically which one is coming. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay. Any other question?
Sir, is there any way by which we can translate X and Y coordinate into zeta or neta value? For example, let us say the value of X is A1 and Y is B. I would like to see what should be the value of eta or zeta at this point.
Say again. So, okay, you have to repeat the question. So,
let's say I'm having a rectangle.
Okay, let me.
And any point inside a rectangle in XY coordinate.
Okay, so rectangle at XY coordinate.
Yeah,
okay.
Any point inside it. Let us say X and Y representing.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to know at this point what should be the value of neta and eta. Zeta and eta.
Zeta and eta. Okay.
Yeah.
So if this is a rectangle, then this will be just linear transformation. If it is like this one, let's say this is x1 y1.
Let us say it is a quadrilateral. Any
random, like
random
shape is random shape. You are saying?
Yes, sir.
Then you know the transformation, no? If the random shape, if it is like this one, if the random shape like this, then from X to this is XY system, you are transforming that to xi eta system, and in xi eta it is going to be a square, right? And we know that X equal to this. You have to find out the shape function first, xi eta, then xi, I equal to 1, 2, 4. This is the transformation, X and xi eta transformation.
But the value of xi or eta is not known at this particular point.
Well, in that case, see, you have to invert it, basically. There is no other way.
Okay, right.
You have to invert it.
Okay, right, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Okay, guys, then if there is no question, so you have a quiz number 2 coming Friday, right? At 10 o'clock. Okay, so please study, please go through the lecture materials. Okay, so some of you may be complaining I am putting a lot of materials there, but remember that a lot of things I am putting there just to explain, so it is like, for example, say divergence theorem and all kind of giving the insight and all those things. I did not do it because all of you have studied engineering mathematics. Similarly, the examples I put last, which actually I made in last year, solving problem number 8.2 and 8.4. That also I did not need to, but I just put it there so that you see how I'm solving, because this is a big problem. So you have to be careful how I'm solving. So showing all the steps and all. So like that. Otherwise, content is not much. If you see the mathematics, why it's not. But even for integration, if you see your book, it is not derived. It is not saying that how should you from where this Gauss quadrature comes. So just formula is given, but I try to actually, so give some background also, so that you can also relate all those things. So that's what I'm doing. Because of that, there may be, instead of 50 minutes, it goes over 1 hour, sometimes 1 hour 15 minutes, like that one. But take it as the like a tutorial basically. So in live session is just for clearing your doubt, because in the lecture there is we don't have the interaction. But apart from that, there is a tutorial session also. Right? So we can assume that whatever is extra is a tutorial basically. So tutorial basically is what understanding of the concepts, and hence I describe. It's important you understand that is the meaning of that. It should not be lost in just mathematics. It should be the insight. What is the meaning of that? Just looking at the problem, can you solve it, and so on. Yeah. So that's what I do like that. So it's very important. Yeah. We do have some. Yeah.
Sir, when are you going to take that chapter number 10? Actually, my project is something based on beam. So if it can be taken just after this quiz, I can start my project early. Otherwise, it would be very late actually.
Okay. I will see what I can do. It may be possible that I can possible probably. However, this chapter 8 follows better, So sorry, chapter 9 is actually from what we have studied, because 2D this one, and chapter 9 is also 2D. So it is in continuity wise, it is better. So probably it may not be a good idea to go to the beam one. So what I can do is I quickly go through this one. Most of the things are done only for chapter. For chapter 9, the same kind of elements will come there, triangular and all, quadrilateral, this kind only. Only difference is the problem is different. So I will try to finish it fast. That may be the one thing. Second thing, Swati, what I suggest is, in last year also I taught, so you can go through the lecture videos from the last year. Yeah. Okay. So this is on the net. You can, wherever I post this one, there only it is also posted. So I think that is the best thing you can do. So look for the, or I will send you the link to the beam problems, and then you can go through that better, because I think we have to follow the sequence, and some other students may also like to work on 2D elasticity problem, so for them again it will not be fair. But in any case, you guys, if you think that something you need for your projects, so I will share with you the link to all of you, link to the last year's lecture videos, whichever was post mid-sem it was, because as you know that lockdown was after the mid-sem. So those things are there, so you can go through those.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Please share with me that beams part.
Yeah.
And sir, have you discussed that codes also means for the problems like you have discussed for this first, second chapter, and some basic questions of beams, Scilab codes?
What I will do, not discuss basically, but I have those codes, I can post it. So I will post the codes itself, and in the codes only it will be something will be explained there. So if you do all lecture videos, then it will be clear what you have to do, and then go through those codes and you will know how to arrange it.
Yes, sir. First I need the concept actually, then I can
learn things. Right.
Okay, sir. Then please send me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So
Thank you, sir.
I will post on the classroom only so that it's available to all of them. Yeah, all of
Okay,
you.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, guys, all the best. Okay. So please study, so there is no shortcut. So most of the things, the problems are because of, like not periodically, or I mean, like regularly following the lectures, so please do that, Otherwise, I put lot of efforts to make these video lectures and all so that you can understand easily. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. All the best. Okay. See you later.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.